the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. You're watching UFC Fight Night, Cara France versus Albazi. And it is time for the main event. UFC athletes face when the octagon gate shuts and the lights are on. Cara France has faced this unforgiving sport head on, but with every lesson, he's bounced back to hit new highs. His foe tonight plans an unforgiving welcome back to the octagon, for Amir Albazi believes the next chapter in his journey is a winning one.
Identified the right hand of Cara France. Kai thinks he's ultimately his best weapon. Albazi says, oh, he's got his right hand. Other than that, I have nothing to worry about. So we'll see how that plays out. Ultimately, in terms of grappling, I think Albazi's got the edge there.
Significant strikes in favor of the Kiwi, but that perhaps the biggest punch of the fight from Albazi. Hasn't forced the issue with a takedown. There he sweeps the leg.
Beautiful reversal.
Fantastic scramble by Albazi, but somehow, Cara France, but somehow Albazi stays in the driver's seat. Unreal.
Nice development for Amir Albazi, who's now on the backpack.
They shake him off, he turns into it, escapes. Very nicely done.
That is huge, and a sigh of relief for Cara France.
I was going to say, Amir Albazi tried to get busier this round to close the distance, but Kai is just picking him apart and talking.
And one final swing.
What a finish.
For the winner by split decision, Amir
No mai hara mai e te whānau ki UFC on Sky ko Ravinder Hunia aho. UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas at the weekend has left many people scratching their heads over the judge's decision to award Amir Albazi the split decision win over New Zealand flyweight Cara France, including Kai himself.
This is sport at the highest level. It's a game of inches, and I know I've said that before, but it's subjective. It's what the judges are scoring. If they're scoring damage, if they're scoring control, aggression, all of these things are in control. I was feeling confident when they were calling the announcement. But hey, hats off to Amir. I'm not gonna be one to dwell on it. Congrats to him for winning and bringing the fight to me and putting on a show. Awesome for flyweights to be in this headline main event. So, I can't really be too, down on the result. I just got to go again. That's it. Yeah, a bit more controlling, capitalizing on moments where I could have put more pressure on. Amir was quite good at ducking and just missing. So, yeah, he showed like he's well-rounded. A lot of people said he was just a wrestler and a grappler, but he showed he could strike, and it's a fun matchup when guys neutralize the ground and you can kind of keep it standing and give people what they want to see.
And for some reaction to this fight, we are now joined by Kai's head coach, Eugene Bareman. Kia ora, Eugene. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, hi, Rev. Good to have a chat to you again post-fight.
Look, you are here back in Aotearoa, fresh off of that card in Las Vegas. You were there in the cage when that decision was read. What was your first reaction?
I was a little bit dumbfounded, like a lot of people were, obviously. But don't get me wrong, I thought it was a very competitive fight. And I thought... Albazi, I thought, and I still think Albazi's a very, very high-level, high-class fighter, and you can see in that fight, he proved that he is a top 10, top 15 caliber flyweight in the world's toughest flyweight division. So I thought it was still a very competitive fight.
Yeah, absolutely was. It was one of those ones you have to go back and watch again, right?
Yeah. You will see some rounds where Kai clearly took over, and you will see some close rounds, and you will see an argument to give those rounds to Albazi, and you'll see rounds where there's an argument you can swing both ways. That's the kind of fight it was.
How did Kai take the news after that fight?
Well, he took it poorly, as you'd expect. These guys they put so much time, money, effort, dedication, commitment into these events, these fights, to have it a little bit unjustly taken away from you is it stings. It stings a little bit deeper than another type of scenario where you lose.
And I know for you, you have, that personal connection with these fighters as well. But, after the fact, you're walking out of the octagon, making your way back to the dressing rooms. What's the kind of messaging you're thinking about that you have to give to your fighter in that moment?
Well, we have a very big thing in the gym, especially with the amount of, outside interference we get nowadays. We have a very clear kind of message and philosophy in the team that the people's opinion that really counts are the ones that are closest to you. So it doesn't matter what the public and the fans think. It matters only and most importantly what your family thinks and your team thinks. And so we reminded him of that, and we let him know that we thought that he clearly did enough to win. And I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a hell of a lot that we can do about the situation. And it wasn't. I think you can't make the mistake of thinking that this is somehow Albazi and his team's fault. It's got nothing to do with them. They did their job as far as I'm concerned, and they did a great job. They had some great moments in that fight, and they did their job as a team, and they won the fight. They have no control over the judges. The judges are completely independent of the fighter, and the UFC for that matter. Our problem was more the manner in which it was judged, and that there's clearly some incompetency there, and for incompetency to be the reason that you lost a fight, that's inexcusable at this level. We as a team fought. Kai had 1, 3, and 4. And I'm willing to say that 1 can go both ways, and it did go both ways. Sal D'Amato, although contrary to my opinion, he went with Albazi, but he was overruled by the other 2 judges that went with Kai. We can concede that. Round 3, clearly Albazi's. Round 2 goes both ways. They went with Albazi, fine. Our main object, we mainly object to round 4, which was a very dominant round for Kai. It was in accordance to the rules and the judging scoring criteria. It was very clear to Kai. Statistically, it was very clear to Kai. I think Albazi statistics was 5 punches landed and something like 30 punches thrown, and then Kai was like 27 punches landed, 60 punches throwing. Those aren't direct quotes. They're probably a little bit inaccurate, but it was on that level. Kai also got the only takedown of the round. It's very clear what effective aggression means, and that is control that leads to some damaging result. So the only thing I can think that Albazi had was some control when he came around to the back, but it led to nothing. It led to Kai escaping. Albazi was not able to consolidate that position. So it's just our argument is that round clearly, very clearly, according to the judging criteria, went to Kai Kara. And that this judge, and I'm not going to name his name because I don't think that's fair, but through his incompetency, through his inability to know what he's looking at, has gone against the other 2 judges, and rolled that round to us, which effectively lost us the fight. So for us, it's just a shame. We don't really have any recompense. Like, we can't really do anything about it. All we can really do is give our opinion and let people know that that the judging is still a problem in the sport. It's still a problem that needs to be solved. I don't have the solution, but there is definitely still a problem in the sport. You can't have guys losing because of competency. So I just do want to, like, at least end this by saying congratulations to Albazi and his team. The judging, he doesn't have anything to do with the judges. He's completely innocent of that, and he fought a great fight. So congratulations to him and his team and his future.
Yeah, he did. It was a tough fight. It was a great matchup, I thought, made for an exciting fight to watch. After the fight, though, is there anything you can do or say in an official capacity? Is there anyone you can talk to about that? We know that the decision won't be overturned, or whatever, but is there a process that you can go through, to voice this concern officially?
There is a little bit of a process, to be honest, Rev, but it's not worth the time and effort that we have to put into it, because nothing will come up. It's a very fruitless and empty process that you have to go through that historically gets you nowhere. So we've chosen to take a different path. We've chosen to move on. We're going to address some of the things, because it was a good fight and Albazi did manage to do some things. We're going to just address what technically might have gone wrong, and we're going to voice our opinion about the incompetency of the judging, and more just to highlight that there is a problem in the sport with judging. And although I don't personally know what the solution is to it, I think there's much smarter people than me involved in the sport that can maybe lend a hand to figure out just how we can not have this happen to some of these other fighters that are quite frankly just putting their lives on the line and putting everything that they have into this one moment, and to have it stripped and taken away from them is it's just absolutely devastating that it's happening to these guys. So we've got to do our best to make sure that it happens a lot less frequently than it happens, or not at all if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what now? I know you've got, fighters up to your eyeballs with fights coming up at the moment, but in terms of Kai, he's down to 5th ranked, but still very much, in the mix to work towards that title again. What do you work towards with Kai now?
No, you're exactly right, Rev. The flyweight division's a crazy one, because they're all so evenly matched, and not just in the top 15. I would say the top 20, 25 guys are just they could beat. The number 25 guy could beat the number 2 guy. And look what just happened then. Albazi was ranked quite a lot lower than Kai and managed to beat him. So it's such a competitive division. You are all but 1 or 2 fights. If you're in the flyweight division, you're 1 or 2 fights away from the title all the time. That's what's so great about it. And what do we do? One thing we're very good at is winning, but one thing that we're also very good at is losing. They're hand in hand, they come hand in hand. You're always going to win some and you're always going to lose some. So we're just going to learn what we can, take away what we can from the loss, and get better. And we're going to move on. And I don't know if Kai's voiced any interest about fighting in Sydney. But if he wants to fight in Sydney, he will. Then that'll be the next goal. I've let him have his world tour, his little holiday.
His little island away.
Yeah, which normally wouldn't be the case. I would not recommend to any of my people in my team to have a holiday if they've lost, but this is a special case. We're giving him a special pass, given that there's a very strong case for him winning.
Nice one, Coach. Nice little allowance there. I'm sure him and the whānau appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I will finish by saying Kai did express on the show that he is keen to jump on the Sydney card, so hopefully we will see him there in September.
Yeah, cool. Well, then, all ships ahead. Let's go, Sydney.
Ka pai. Thank you so much for your time, Eugene.
Thank you, Ref. Thank you.
This weekend, the UFC heads to Vancouver for UFC 289, which features the woman they call the best there ever was in the UFC. That is Amanda Nunes, the champ, and she joins us now from Fight Week. Kia ora, Amanda, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Also, awesome to be here. Also, we'll talk to you guys. We'd appreciate it.
Look, I must say, off the bat, you are looking very happy, very calm, very relaxed.
Yeah, the weight cut is always like something that we don't like to do, but I put everything as smooth as possible, and I'm really happy,
Awesome. Look, how have preparations been? Because initially you were supposed to be facing Juliana Pena again. That, of course, has changed to Irene Aldana. So how have you found preparing for a fighter like her?
I always talk to UFC in the first place to fight Aldana. So I was training for her already before close the deal with Juliana. So when everything's changed, was an easy, transition from both camp. So I was training for her already, and I just keep it going, We'll have time to make the adjustment and everything. So, and was good.
What do you make of Aldana as a fighter? She seems like perhaps she brings a lot more strength than other opponents that you've faced in the past.
Yeah, she have a good boxing, she know how to use her reach. She move a lot. So she also have a okay ground game. So she have a lot of dangerous points. So I make sure like I sharpen everything, I make sure like I be able to capitalize everything she show up Saturday. And yeah, we did a very good strategy for her. I think everything is gonna be fine.
Mm. And where do you think you're stronger than her? Because I know, physically you have a very large skill set, but as well as that, you have the experience as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm powerful, more powerful than her, for sure. My takedowns is something that I don't see she stop if I want, I feel like my jiu-jitsu as well. I feel like this fight, it can finish in any way, I'm pretty sure if I connect to throws, it's gonna hurt, So I really just have to take my time, be composed, capitalize everything she show and finish the fight. So we have 25 minutes to go. If this have to go long, we're gonna go long. But the only thing that I know, I'm gonna go back home with my belt.
Absolutely. And look, talking about bout, you don't only have one, you have two. You're the bantamweight and featherweight champion. How tough is it to hold on to two belts in the UFC?
Honestly, in the beginning, it was a little tough. You never rest. Everybody think about you, and you think about all the time who next. And in the beginning, it was a little bit of a challenge, but like almost 7 years, almost. It's a lot of years with the belt. So at this point, I'm used to the pressure. I'm used with everything that involves a champion, I have a lot of experience to be in any situation, Actually, my life, was always like a grade, I have ups and downs in my career. So I know come back from anything, I know this feeling to lose is something so important, and then right back and back to you again. So I know everything that is, so good and bad about being a champion. So I'm ready to go. I think like I'm a champion for a reason, and nobody's gonna take these moments for me.
Absolutely. That's a great point you bring up. Yeah, never again. Look, that's the part that I want to ask you about, because there was that one point where Juliana Pena, took the bout in 2021. But what did you take away from that moment? Because you say almost 7 years you've been champion. What did that moment teach you about being a champion?
That moment was a good moment to learn, for sure. never sleep in a fighter ever, you know. After like so long, I have the belt at home with me. I definitely got in those moments like, okay, rest a little bit, you know. I know I have the skills to beat anyone. So I'm not supposed to get in those mindset. I'm supposed to always be aware, always feel like dread, you know. A champion, you always gotta be like with your mindset that's your next opponent is the harder, you know. So I take very easy that fight. I also went through a couple little injuries to line up to that fight. That's really take a lot from my camp, you know, and I literally pay for all those little mistakes that I made, you know. If I really push the fight a little later, that result would be completely different. But sometimes, you know, you just want to fight, you want to compete, and you don't really care about your body so much, you know. You always, as a fighter, you always think like, this injury is not gonna bother me. But like, if you don't prepare well, obviously you're not gonna show up well the day of the competition, because in the UFC, it's not only step in the cage, involves so many things, you know. Involve your mindset, involve like it's just a huge show that's like you gotta like work in so many ways. So, and when I lost that belt, I realized so many things, you know, and I make a lot of adjustment, especially in my trainings, and I also open my own gym to move on in my career in my own. So I make some things that I already would think about it, but I never have the opportunity to really do. And when I lost the belt and I want to start over in my own, so, and I make adjustment, I did everything. I opened my gym, and I know I just needed a good camp to get my belt back.
Absolutely, and you've done that well and truly, and that's what makes this fight even more exciting. Look, another big thing that happened in your life, you know, over this span as a champion is your family is growing, and I think that's one of the greatest things that I see, you know, whether it's you're embedded, you know, the UFC countdown, or even in the octagon, your family is right there beside you. How much has, you know, becoming a parent and having a loving partner helped in your career?
Yeah, definitely. Nina, I say like, it's 50-50, you know. If I don't have her by my side, it would be like very hard to do this, because Nina really make everything easy for me, you know. So we really a team at home, and having Reagan, you know, my family is growing right now. It's just unbelievable. I love being a mother, you know. Yeah. We love this new life, and that's why I take them everywhere with me. Reagan is like just making me so like happy all the time, and I'm just really in love to be her mother, you know. She make everything better. She make me grow as a human. She make me really like better everywhere, even as a fighter too, to be able to separate these two moments, you know, be busy with her and have to focus also in my career. She really taking me from my comfort zone, you know. I always was like these like crazy athletes that like train, you know, thinking anything else and just training, be in the gym. If I have to sleep in the gym, I'm gonna do. So I was kind of tired of that kind of life, you know, always concerned me so much, because I was putting so much in myself, like always pushing me. And the pressure that's all the fighting life can give it to you, and with the pressure that I put in myself, always was very hard on me. You know, I always want to doing good. I always want to be good. And that was concerning me. When Reagan started coming the picture, you know, more, that make the balance, you know. I have to have life, you know. I have to be a human too, you know, and do all the things. I cannot only live it like that. I gotta like make the balance for my life to be better, even in my career. So when I started thinking like that, doing my training, do everything at the gym, and go home and then be with my family more, that making me a different fighter, you know, more hungry, more, you know, more powerful, and I'm a lioness, you know, so I gotta take care of my cubs, my baby.
Absolutely, you do.
That making me powerful. So, and now I love so much be a mother that I expect another one.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's empowering too. You're a great, you know, and this is great role modeling, you know, for your family, but also for other mothers, you know, around the world who are still trying to have that balance as well, trying to work, trying to be a parent. So it's great to see that even women, you know, in top tier elite sport can find that balance and find that balance in their heart as well. Look, the reason I asked you about baby was because I can see the pushchair behind you. So I know that motherhood never stops, does it?
I thought I was happy, you know. Like, I was trying to find a way to be more happy than I was. So I got my dream come true. I got everything that I want. So, but like, I always was feeling missing something, you know. I always thought maybe I need a dog, you know. The dog is going to be around here. And I got a dog. And I was telling Nina, I don't think it's a dog. I feel empty. I need something for my life to make me go, you know? And I got another dog, and then nothing was like feel that space that love that I needed to feel. And then we decided to have a baby. And when we got Reagan, was like unbelievable. I knew right away that was the thing that I was missing in my life, you know, be a mother. And when that happened, I look at Nina, oh my God, why we not taught that the whole time that I was like, Nina, I need it, like, I think like, I need something else. My life is not completely yet. I need something. I have a space in my heart that's not filled yet. I don't know what it is. So I always have those breakdowns all the time. And was like, I was scared a little bit, you know? Because my whole life I won the belt. I got 2. And I still like a little bit empty. And I always tell Nina all the time, I don't know what it is, but like I still don't feel like maybe I have to make more history with something. Maybe, you know, I always was trying to find the answer. And never come until Reagan's born.
What an amazing story, Amanda. It's so nice to talk to you and talk to you as Amanda Nunes, the mother, the human, you know, other than the fighter.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's like this is how it is for now on. Be a mom and defend my belt. Is the combination that I was missing the whole time.
I love it. Amanda, look, I'll leave you to it. All the very best for the weekend ahead. We'll be watching down here from Little New Zealand and wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.